Welcome to Marriage Before Marriage, MBM.
There is so much fake stuff. There is so much social media image. If you are going to end up with the best in life, don't be a victim of camera tricks in life.
When labels are different, the character and behavior would be different, except God has just worked on somebody.
The things that trouble marriage have remained the same from time immemorial. The mistakes that cripple this institution have not changed color, and the principles that keep it afloat still remain with us.
I want someone who is as down as I am, then we'll build together from nothing. So that the day we become anything, I can't use nothing to brag. She can't use nothing to brag.
This is Marriage Before Marriage, MBM. Timeless observations, biblical insights, honest approach, and hard practicality. Marriage Before Marriage, MBM, with Maurice and Pam Olo.
This is a tough advice I always give. Please marry someone. This is my sincere advice. Marry someone also that you'll not have a lot of cultural problems. Did you get what I said?
Yes.
And that does not mean that marrying from another culture is wrong.
It's wrong now.
But the truth is, some things we think are happiness, the people we admire sometimes are not as happy as we think. So be genuinely happy. Don't let Facebook drive you crazy. Be genuinely happy, and that should inform your decision. If you love someone from another culture and you genuinely love the person, you are willing to lay down your life, you are willing to become them, and they are willing to become you, you can go ahead. Tuko pamoja? Lakini usianze kusema ya kwamba unasikia baridi.
Nataka kula ugali.
Okay.
Thank you, Papa and Mama, for this session. Mine were just two questions. I wanted to, my first one was if God is able to direct you to the person whom you're supposed to marry, or you're supposed to get into a relationship with. And my second one was, this one was for maybe those children that have been brought under single parent families. Probably there are a lot of experiences maybe you didn't have, as you've said that you'll marry the dad and you'll marry the mom. So maybe how are you able to now bridge that gap that was there when now you're entering into a relationship with someone that has both parents? Yeah, thank you.
That is why we call it dating. As you date, and we have said this before, don't be overtaken by things that are not important. It's time to know someone. Knowing someone involves the experiences they have gone through. And as you talk to them, you're able to pick, hey, Uyu, she has been raised by a single mother. And therefore, if I'm going to marry her, I'm going to play the role of a father. You can't marry a lady that was raised by a single mother and not play the dad role. I know when relationships are being taught by some people, they make the expensive mistake of saying, your wife is not your mother. But somewhere down the line, you are marrying a man, the mother died when he was 2 months old. He has been formed by that lack of a mother in his life. Somewhere down the line, if you marry and you are rightfully in marriage, once in a while you'll pick your wife trying to be that girl, trying to look at you as the father. A woman looks at a man in 4 different ways. He'll look at you as the father. He'll also look at you as her brother. There are times she'll begin to look at you as her lover, her boyfriend. There are many things. So you must develop these edges. You must build yourself into being a father. Not many people are able to father their wives. There are times when a woman has fatherly issues. Sometimes she's sharing not because she's looking for a solution. She just wants you to let her know there is that fatherly covering, that you can listen and protect her. Those are fatherly needs. So they tell us when you marry a man, just know he's your firstborn. So the first thing you'll do is that you have to build your age when it comes to fatherhood. because this person never had a father, has never grown with a father. So you must quickly get into reading books like Generational Greatness. They should flash it somewhere, drying up the tears of fatherlessness, so that you learn how a fatherless girl behaves. So that when you see these things, you know how to respond to them. One is that they are overprotective. They suffer from, they defend themselves a lot because they never had a male defending them. So they have grown up defending themselves, and since your relationship in the beginning seems to her like you want to pick a fight, so utakuta anajidefend most of the time. So you must learn how to accept that, swallow it, and make it easy for her to pick you not as a competitor, but as a man that has outgrown her pain. You are at a place where you can minister to her pain, knowing she has never believed that a man can protect. It's like dating a woman that was hurt by a man. Their father left them. So the eye with which they have looked at fatherhood is the eye of accusation. So when you come into the life of a woman like this, you have the responsibility to redefine fatherhood to her. That a man can love you without seeking to take advantage of you. So these are things you'll build with time. Because utakuta ya kwamba they are very quick to react because they never had someone to protect them. So the answer is build your age in terms of fatherhood. And you can't be there complaining, I'm not old enough to be a father, you not load on me. Kwani mimi nitakuwa baba ya mtu, kila mtu na you can't marry such a person then. So marriage will, you'll become a mother when you need to be. You play the role of a mother. Sometimes you can look at a man and you can tell utoto ni mwingi hapo. At this time, if I become a wife, there'll be trouble. And then you just become a mother. And then he'll walk through it, and then that's why when Sarah died, Isaac loved Rebekah and he was comforted. Put it there. And Isaac loved Rebekah and he was comforted. It means there is a platform Rebekah became. There is a way Rebekah helped Isaac overcome the grief of the mother. And these are things you need to understand as a woman. When a man loses his father, no matter how old he is, there is something that hits him, that he will need some level of motherly care. It took me about 5 years to overcome my father's death. And severally, she had to be very smart and wise to step into this pain wisely. Because pain not addressed has made people do very weird things. So, I go back to my answer. You begin to build your age as a father. And you don't have to have a baby to be a father. You don't have to be married for 10 years to be a father. Fathers are fathers when they are 15 years. Have you ever seen those small boys that raised their brothers? Mweona wale watoto wadogo wasichana, mmoja aliachwa akiwa miaka 4 na mmoja akiwa miaka 2. How huyo wa miaka 4 can collect the 2 years old, protect and prepare stuff and take care of the others. That's what we call being a parent. Life has grown her. She's mature enough to take the place of a mother. So you can develop that without having a baby. That is one of the things required in being a pastor. It's an age you have to build. Because people are going to cry on your shoulders that are much older than you. You will see a 70 years old man throwing tantrums that you're sick. Na hukumpigia simu. Na unajiangalia unasema I'm only 40 for crying out loud. Mzee wa 70 hivi unataka kuniroga. But when God has given you the mandate and you have built your fatherhood age, you will talk to a woman who is 60 and you can tell she is feeling the fatherly aura coming from you. And that's what is required of you as a shepherd. You can't complain, I'm only a little boy. Sasa nikisimama hapa sasa jiji mnaniletea shida hapa. Na mimi pia ni mtoto wa mtu na niko na shida zangu. Mungu anaona. Nobody will be seated here. Your shoulders have to be strong enough that you can heal what you didn't break.
Wow.
And you can love what you didn't hurt. And you can take blames for the mistakes you didn't commit. Because when you are marrying a fatherless girl, you are going to take blames. Sometimes ataamuka anaanza kulia baba yake. Kama babangu angekuwa hai, na unajua zawe ndio mwanaume uko hapo. Unamuuliza, am I not a man? And if he said, no, I didn't say you are a man, I'm just missing my father. If the father used to go and buy chicken and chips, kimbia kwa duka leta chicken and chips, mwambie honey, it shall be well. Then she feels, so dad is still here. That is not manipulation. Amen. And so is the man, so is the woman as well. You marrying someone that has never known the love of a woman. The mother left him when he was young. He was mistreated by the mothers wale alipitia kwa mikono yao. So when you marry him, read books along that line. Prepare yourself. And probably there are couples who are in the same position. So talk to them. They can give you tips so that you are armed and ready to handle the person. Marriage also involves growing up together. Unakuwa mwalimu unamfunza. I taught my wife how to drive. It was the toughest experience of my life. And also, you can't raise your voice. And it is difficult to show love na clutch inaenda kuchomeka. It's very difficult. It's the only car.
Oh my God.
There's a pastor who went to teach his wife how to drive, wakakosana kwa msitu. The wife came back walking saying, kana hiyo gari.
Nimekuachia hiyo gari yako.
Nimekuachia hiyo. It requires a lot of wisdom, eh? Good.
You have to build your shoulders so strong.
Another question?
Thank you so much, sir, Mama. Thank you for this session. My question is, you have found this someone, he's not of your tribe, then you take the person to your parents. The parents don't like him because of the tribe, or maybe when they look at him, money-wise, he's not like the son-in-law they would want. How do you handle that? And you are convinced this is the person you would want to be with.
Hey. Wow.
We have standards.
Yeah, it really takes us back to the same things we had talked a little bit before. But you know what? As I've walked with people, I have learned that when parents say no, it means both no and yes. Give it a certain period of time. The challenge is sometimes when we go to these parents, we go to them with the expectation of an immediate endorsement. There's nobody who has raised their kids, and now I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. My daughter will not just come to me today that daddy, I have to be very careful. Me that is teaching you that, akileta mtu mkubali vile yako, I don't think it's easy to do it the way I'm teaching it. Okay, my expectations may not be that much financial because God has helped me in a way. But I have that concern, will he take care of my daughter? That is a general concern of parents. Is my daughter safe? And maybe the parent does not have an issue with the person, but has an issue with the cultural trouble and history of the community. Maybe they show you, nani alioa hapa kutoka kwa hiyo community, we know how it ended. Nani alioa, so they are coming from those backgrounds, from that kind of understanding. Now the reason I said it is important that you don't just throw it on them and tell them, sasa mmekataa ikae, mimi nitamuoa mpende msipende. No. When parents are given time and their ideologies are ministered to, there's no parent that is difficult. Their expectation of him was not vile walikuwa nadhania. And because you love the person, I didn't say begin to give the person money to take to your parents. But when love is genuine, you tell them, well, I will not be offended, but can you give us time? The brother can prove himself. With time, you give them time and they watch. The brother has the role to prove himself that he's not what the parents are expecting or are thinking. And this happens when we begin to bless parents in very humble. He goes there even without your knowledge. Ameletea your dad a suit, some shoes, come with tent and say, I just passed by to say hi. And doesn't even go into the marriage thing and say, I just brought you this. I just thank God for you people. Are you okay? Are you fine? I just came to say hello. Ameacha 10K, ameacha kasuti yake, ameachia mzee, mebariki mama na ameenda. As he goes, this is what parents do.
Yeah.
I think this boy,
Change their mind.
I think this boy is a good young man. I've seen this a lot. The trouble is sometimes we take very lazy people to our parents. Wanaulizwa swali, how are you? Hey, I'm fine. Na sasa unaonaje the next 20 years? God is good. Mungu anaweza. Kwanza Mungu aono. Nimesikiza ono hapa kwa TV. Mambo yote yanawezekana. Sasa hatuna mpango lakini harusi itafanyika tu. Hata mkitusupport Simba, you are a parent that looks at a man like that. Say, if I see this man here again, because a responsible man reads responsibility. Responsibility has nothing to do with wealth. A responsible man is just responsible. And what those parents are looking for, it may not be money, is a sense of responsibility. Amesikia kuna matanga, mzee amepata matanga, amepiga simu immediately. Daddy, how are you? Oh, who is this? He said, oh, umeshasikia kuna, yes, Daddy, I've heard there's a problem. And I know you may need to travel. Nimekutumia tu mafuta ya gari. Haguzi mambo ya ndoa. You buy your way into the heart of parents. There is no parental love that is for free. I don't know if you know these things. No matter how much of an idiot you are, ukitumia mama yako sukari, anaonanga future. Hata anaambia baba yako, unajua huyu mtoto wangu ni nyinyi mnamtanga mjinga. Huyu mtoto ana akili. Sasa hivi mnakunywa sukari hapa. Na yeye alikuwa miongoni mwa watu walikuita mjinga. Parents are like that. Life is such that don't accept the names people give you. You have a chance to prove you are not that name. And this boy has a chance to prove to your parents that I may look low, but I want to let you know. Supposing you are still going to school and colleges are opening, and he asks to see your dad, he doesn't give you. He asks you, and I say, Daddy, I heard she's going back to school. Na nimesikia fee ni kama 50,000, nimeleta 10,000, I know it can do something. Please, God bless you, sir. It's okay, I'm gone. I say, this boy, I think we need to listen to him. That's how parents are. So what I can say is this, don't blast them immediately. Ya kwamba wamekataa, they are not for it, they have an issue with the tribe. You should give it time to try to prove to them that is not what they think. And when you have proved yourself for some time and you realize it has been rejected, remember it is dating. It is not do or die. You tell him we loved each other, but mali imefika, hii inaweza kuwa na shida in the future. These guys are totally adamant. Ama umepeleka hiyo help ukarushiwa, ukaulizwa umekuja kutukana nani na 10,000? Umeona tuko na njaa. And every time it is that, blasting, we have stood our grounds, we don't need it. It is dangerous to marry someone your parents don't want anything to do with. Ama nimesema vibaya? Did I answer?
Okay, there's a hand over here.
Thank you for this session. I just want some clarification. When you said when you're marrying, you're not marrying the son or the daughter, you're marrying either the mother-in-law or the father-in-law. But you see, when growing up, you either become the best version of your parents or the worst version of your parents. So, are we still marrying the parents in terms of the behavior?
I think you are saying the same thing in a different way. You have said, if I'm not wrong, that you either become the best version of your parents, meaning you can develop how good they were and become much better than them.
Yes.
And or you marry the worst version of your parents, which means you can become worse than they were. Now, simply boil down. It still means you are still marrying them. And when I say marrying them, I don't mean you are entirely limited to what they became. I'm just saying what you are bound to run into. When you meet them, you'll be able to tell, one day I may fight something like this. You basically have the chance to see what is forming this person. I didn't say that you use that as a final way of looking at them and victimizing them. Since I found your dad insulting your mom, all of you are mannerless. No. And that's why we call it dating, because what you have seen, you must give it time to prove if it is true or wrong. Drunkards have brought forth priests, and priests have given birth to conmen. So if you thought you are comfortable because somebody's father is a pastor, then he becomes an armed robber, what do? Say, Pastor Lo cheated me. So you can also not totally decide what somebody is going to become by what the parents have become. The parents only give you a pointer. Kama babake ndiye ako hivi, then I think I'll fight this. If the mother behaves like this, then a seed of this kind could become part of what I'll fight in the future. It just gives you a pointer. Don't we teach you break the limitations of your family? We teach that. But the fact that we are breaking them does not mean we are denying them. They are there. That's why we are dealing with them. And sometimes when you are dealing with something, you deal with it and it is dealing with you. So there are reactions. My advice is this: even if you find out that somebody's mother is a witch, it may not mean they are witches. The person is a witch. But you have just found out there's a seed of witchcraft somewhere. And you ask the person, unasikianga kukimbia usiku saa zingine? Anakuambia yeye saa zingine saa 8 hapo nasikianga kwenda kufanya exercise. Now you know. It is in the family.
So you choose actually.
So
whether
it's
to help
all
them.
these things.
Yeah.
Just help your eyes open
Yes.
to what you are going to fight,
Yes.
what you are going to deal with. These things don't mean don't marry the person. But you have a chance to think.
We'll go for a short break, and we will be back for the continuation of where we left it from.
Get these books at only 1,000 shillings. Call, SMS or WhatsApp 0726 315 906.
Welcome back to another powerful session. We're just from a wonderful session of questions and answers, inspired questions and well put answers to guide us. So I'm sure if you missed that part of the questions and answers, there will be a repeat on social media and both on the television. So stay tuned. And on this one, we just continue from where we left it from. We are in a relationship. We are courting. We are still dating, getting to know one another. It's been some time. We've gone through some trials, getting to know one another. And we've gotten to a point where one party seems to be more interested while the other seems to be tired. There's one party pursuing, you're the one doing the SMSs, you're the one doing the calls, you're the one doing the visiting, the other one stopped doing. How do I know that this person, how do I know what's going on in their minds when I'm the now person who seems like I'm pursuing? Let's say I'm the lady, I'm the one asking, umefika wapi, ulienda wapi, why didn't you tell me where you were last time?
You know, the spirit of a man is the candle of the Lord. The challenge both of us have in life, all of us, even at the ministry level, are both pastors, members, life in general. Let me talk about life in general.
Yes.
All of us have a way of telling when we are no more welcome in somebody's life. You want to tell me you are so much of a dummy that you don't know? How many of you have ever felt rejected? I didn't say you have a spirit of rejection, but how many of us you've ever felt rejected? Have you ever felt you are not needed? Did someone tell you you are not needed? How many of you have ever felt you are not needed in a ministry at some point of your life? But nobody told you. Because there's a way we are wired. And if you don't appreciate how to keep off where you are not needed, you'll suffer a lot of unnecessary pain in life. A pastor must know when a particular member of the church is saying, I don't need your pastorship. I don't need your leadership. Sometimes people don't reject you and walk out of your life. No. The most painful rejection is rejection that you are shown by someone who has not walked out. But they have rejected you all the same. I know pastors who are rejected by the congregations they are pastoring. I know women who feel rejected in the marriage. I know men that are rejected by their wives, right in the marriage. The woman has not walked away, but she has rejected the man. The man has not walked away, but he has rejected the woman. So that's a very powerful question. Since it is dating, you haven't married yet. You are trying to find out if it can work. And when it gets to the stage where someone has rejected you and is like you are still dating, then you have seen good signs that show you should back off. But the challenge is, sijui kama tunakuanga kondoo ama tunakuanga aje, pastors just don't seem to have the wisdom to stay away from someone who is saying, leave me alone. Hallelujah. Too many follow-ups become witchcraft. Someone will wonder, why are you so interested in my life? Ama mimi ndio mbuzi wa kondoo wa hiyo huduma yako. You are getting me? So I'm trying to use that so that you can get it. I had to learn as a pastor how to accept rejection. Rejection sometimes doesn't mean you have lost value. Rejection sometimes means the person rejecting you has simply gone blind. So you have to look at it. That helps you so that you don't begin to attack people for rejecting you. And without that, people end relationships insulting each other with all drama. Wanaanza kujifunua manguo in public because you are not smart enough to know when you are being told go. Waswahili walisema akufukuzae akwambii toka. They have some dignity for you. They are thinking you are smart enough to see. But since you have also become another kondoo, you are not seeing. Ni vibaya sana watu wa nje wajue uliachwa. Na wewe mwenye uko kwa relationship ndio hata uonangi.
Wow.
Umeshikilia kitu hapo ni kama tiki yenye imekuamia ng'ombe na ng'ombe ilishakufa. Sasa watu wa buchari wamenunua kichwa ya ng'ombe wanaenda kuchinja. Na tiki baada ameshikilia tu pale mpaka kichwa inaingizwa kwa moto. Sasa nasikia kama nyama inakuwa moto na kuna damu. Ndio kanaweka reverse gear when it is very late. And it reverses into the fire. That is what happens. So what Mama has asked, I think, is very important. And I wish I would be able to outline a few things that are signs that you are wasting your time in a relationship. Because there are people who think they are dating, and in reality, they are wasting their time. Mtu alikuacha kitambo. It is good to be a widow in real life, but not be a widow at the dating stage. So you start acting the role of a widow too early. Well, you still have your life. Or you start acting the role of a widower. Because msichana amekukataa na hajasema. Na umekazana saa 4 umefika hapo kazini kwao, nani yako? Kwani Rosie yako kuambia kwamba alikuwa anaenda team building in UK? Ai. Unasema UK ya Kenya hapa ama ya kweli? Rosie alienda UK last week. Hata kwanza alituambia alikuambia. Kwa sababu mama ni wavumilivu, natoka hapo ukiwa unalia, Jehovah will fight my battles. Jehovah, whatever you have started, no man can stop. This guy, this is mine and God has spoken. Unaanza kujitia moyo na vitu kama hizo. The reality is there are signs when you see, with all integrity, with all dignity, respect yourself enough to accept the no of people. Simuseme vile nimesema. Respect yourself enough to accept the no of people. So that even if you do any help, you don't do it out of desperation. Did you hear what I said in the morning? You can bless people without expecting a thank you. Because you have respected yourself enough. You have outgrown utoto.
Get these books at only 1,000 shillings. Call, SMS or WhatsApp 0726 315 906.